This is a tutorial from the Scottish European Educational Trust as part of the Our World project. The aim of this video is to break down storytelling techniques for you to use in your own filmmaking.
Hello, I'm Alasdair Satchell, and I'm a film and theatre maker based on the island of Mull. Story. Story. We're all native storytellers. We understand how story works so clearly. We constantly make up stories in our heads as part of our daily lives. We see something and think, well, if that's happened, this is going to happen. We've also seen thousands and thousands of hours of TV and film. We're often left alone in front of the TV as we people. Story is the lifeblood of film and TV. All of the hours of TV we've watched have worked their way into our bones, so we understand story in a most profound way. We know when a story feels right and when it feels wrong. So what is story? Put simply, story is an account of events. For stories to be interesting, something has to actually happen, whether in what you're hearing or seeing or even in your imagination. Here's one of the best and shortest stories I've ever seen. It's called The Scarlatti Tilt by Richard Brautigan.
It's hard to live in a studio apartment in San Jose with a man who's learning to play the violin. That's what she told the police when she handed them the empty revolver.
It's such a simple story, but there's so much in there. There's character and action and so much more that we see in our heads without it being there on the page. Engaging the imagination is one of the key things you've got to do with story, to bring it to life. For stories to be interesting, they have to have shape. They have to appear to be proceeding in a straight line and then take a series of twists and turns. If they were graphs, dull stories would just be a flat line at the bottom of the graph. I need to have this so I can do that. Certainly. Here you go. Thanks. Dull. Game over. Whereas if character A says, I need this to do that, and character B says, you can't have it because I need it to do this. But I need it. I need it more. Fight! Suddenly, we have drama and conflict. Drama and conflict is the root of all interesting stories. You can see from this analysis that character starts to emerge very early on into a story. Why does character A need something? Who are they? What do they need the thing to do? Who is character B? And why on earth do they need the thing? You can see how by putting two characters together, we get into choppy waters and the drama starts to take shape. Here's a question for you. What's more interesting? A character who does what they say they will, or a character who says they'll do something and then does the complete opposite? The more complex a character is, the more real and interesting it will seem, and the more it will connect with an audience. But for them to really connect, we have to understand their motivation. What is it that makes them say one thing, yet do another? A very interesting thing to think about is situation. What is the situation that you place your characters into? Is it a situation that's native to the character? For instance, are we in a school and we see school children in a classroom? Or are we in an undertaker's and we see a clown? The situation you set your story in can really help your storytelling. One exercise to generate a story is to take a situation and think of the characters who would logically be there. Name them. Flesh out their lives a little bit. Figure out what they want to be happy or succeed in a task, and then find ways for them not to get that. Put obstacles native to their situation in their way. If those obstacles come from other characters and the choices that those characters make to meet their own needs, you're into very interesting dramatic territory. So how does story start? One of the key things to think about is the action that kicks everything off. The initiating incident. Something that means the rest of the story is going to happen as a response to this action, whether it's by the character's actions or by the inevitable nature of their situation. This is what gives your story body, the actions that lead from one thing into the next. It's vital to say that for your story to work, you should try to have fun with it. Stories can work in very mathematical ways. this happens, so that happens. But if you can have fun with it, this happens, so that happens, you'll make more of a connection with your audience. It's about putting more of yourself into it, having fun. For your story to have really exciting structure, it needs to have a climax, the highest point of the drama, where everything is at stake. For instance, when Thanos clicks his fingers. The climax then inevitably leads to the ending. So how should stories end? Well, unless you're wanting to make a series of sequels, your story should conclude in a satisfying way. A simple idea would be if character A has something that character B needs at the end of the story, they either need to find a compromise so that they can both use it, or another solution is that one of them has it while the other doesn't. Another option would be that circumstances related to their situation or the needs of another character mean that they can't access it at all. Endings are actually just the beginning. Once you've got a story that you like and that you're happy with, you can play about with the structure of your storytelling. How would it be if you were to start your film just before the last actions that conclude it, and then spin us back in time to the start of the story? Would that make the story even more interesting for the viewer? What if your story was based around a countdown? Playing around with story structure leads to some really interesting storytelling and can be a lot of fun. Language and story are very close companions. You can create all sorts of dramatic situations by introducing another language into them. If person A needs something desperately, but person B, who has the thing, whether information or an object, doesn't speak their language, suddenly you've got great dramatic potential. There's conflict because they can't understand each other, but the story forces them to try and find a way to understand each other so they can get what they need and bring a conclusion to the story. One of the key things to make this approach to storytelling really clear is to choose target words and phrases and communicate them to the audience. For instance, où sont les toilettes? Où sont les toilettes? Où sont les toilettes? The meaning of this can be made very clear by modifying the intensity of the action, as can be, ¿Dónde están los baños? But if you see a character saying, Ich habe meine Hose gekackt, I think the meaning is quite clear. That's a thing. If you can use language in a way that is sincere but funny, your audience will remember the phrases with greater ease. This way, demystifying foreign languages and making them more accessible. A vital thing to do with film is to make sure that you show rather than tell. Allow us to see things happening. This way you can be really precise with your use of language, both English and foreign languages.
There you go. That's a brief introduction to storytelling in film. It's over to you now. Allez, c'est parti.